Hey guys, this week on the show I've got Superman, Old Man Logan, The Punisher, Farmhand, Detective Comics, Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, Deadpool Assassin, Darth Vader, X-Men Blue, Hunt for Wolverine, Adamantium Agenda, Domino, Oblivion Song, and X-23. Strap yourselves in and grab your butts, because here we go. Alright guys, welcome back. It has been a heck of a week for comic books. Got a lot to cover, as you heard. So, let's kick this thing off, get started, with Superman issue number 1. And this is the first issue in the actual Bendis run. Not to be confused with the six-parter that kind of set all this stuff up. So, let's see how we're doing. So, while his battle with Rolgo is over for now, during the fight, the only way to communicate with Lois and John in their trip with Jor-El across the universe, the communicator's been destroyed. Oops. And Superman's kind of having a hard time dealing with it, and so he kind of runs out into the universe trying to find them, runs into disasters waiting to happen coming toward Earth. And he finally realizes that he has to focus on keeping Earth safe, and comes back, rebuilds his fortress in the Bermuda Triangle, which is weird. And then Martian Manhunter, for whatever reason, shows up and he's acting strange, talking about Superman needs to, take charge and lead the world. It's weird. And Superman realizes something's wrong and finds out that the Earth somehow ended up in the Phantom Zone. So, yeah, I mean, we're definitely off to, that escalated quickly, definitely, very much. Moving on to Old Man Logan, issue number 43. After the murder of the woman who helped Logan with the whole Kingpin situation a few issues back, Logan has come poking around the crime scene when he runs into Joy Jones, a woman who is after Bullseye. She's like this cybernetic merc now, and Bullseye had murdered her husband a couple of years back, and so she's trying to get him. So the two of them kind of team up because they have a common agenda. And it's kind of seems like Bullseye is toying with Logan. This because this is gonna get real, y'all, and it's gonna get real fast. So I have high hopes for this little bitty arc they got going on here. Next up is The Punisher, issue number 227. So Bucky and Widow have somehow convinced Frank that they want the same thing. And they decide that, hey, we want to help you. And they make their way to this prison where Hydra has already begun an assault. So the trio make their way into the prison as Hydra releases all the prisoners. Oops. Kind of a bad situation. So the three of them basically have to defend themselves against the entirety of the prison. And while they're doing that, Zemo heads to a cell that's way far below everything. And we find out that this is the prison where Steve Rogers is being kept. The evil Steve Rogers from the whole Secret Empire thing. Now, while all this is going on, of course, Carol and the rest of the Avengers show up. And she's brought all of the ass kickers along with Iron Man, who doesn't look too happy with Frank. It was bound to happen eventually. Next up, Farmhand, issue number 1. Now, I gotta tell you, I picked this up. I was a little reluctant, but my local comic shop was like, hey, dude, I put this in your box if you want it. People have been asking for it. I know you like this kind of number 1 stuff thing. I had no idea about this book. It was another one of those. So he gave it to me, and I read it. And let me tell you something about this book. So this is a story about a farmer who gets zapped by this strange light one day while he's mowing the back 40. And when he gets zapped with this light, he gets ideas he never had before. Sound familiar? Yeah. I think John Travolta did a movie about this once. Hold on a second. So flash forward to now, and his farm has become this biogenetic farm where they grow human organs for transplant. Everything from limbs to organs. It's all here. And they grow it in the dirt using plants. Yeah, so it's weird. Something is going on behind the scenes, of course, because there is some competition who wants to steal his work, and while on a tour with a school, a spy almost gets a sample of a finger to take back to this mysterious competitor, but gets caught. Now, the farmer Jed offers him a replacement arm for the one he had lost long ago as a little kid, and he offers it as a replacement in exchange for sending a message to his employer, who he ends up killing his handler. And then we find out that this arm may be a little more than it seems, or maybe something it's not supposed to be. You'll have to find out later. So, yeah, it seemed a little weird at first. I actually read that twice, and I'm going to keep reading it because this just seems like it's the kind of weird thing that could really, like, jazz me up. And I'm hoping it's not another miniseries. Damn you, Image, for pulling me in on these miniseries and then taking them away from me. So we'll see what happens. Next up is Detective Comics, issue number 984. So the assassin Karma has come to Gotham and is after an orphan currently. He's trying to basically take out all of Batman's associates to kind of, take away his weakness, as it were. He's trying to send a message or some such thing. But Batman has brought Black Lightning to Gotham to lead a team, and their first fight is, of course, to stop Karma from hurting Orphan. Well, when they join the fight, Karma just beats their asses and manages to escape. So, things... Karma always comes back. I don't have any sound effects this week. I'm doing this raw, doing this live. Please, I apologize for the lack of sound effect. That was horrible. I won't do that again, I promise. So the next up is Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps. And the battle between the Lanterns and the Dark Stars has escalated on Mogo. The Lanterns seem to be losing the fight, even though their new allies Zod, Orion, and Arkilo are with them, and even after the Guardians have decided to step in and, help out with the fight for a change. However, a trump up their sleeve, deep inside the Dark Star's fortress, Hal and Hector Hammond have a plan of their own. So, we'll have to see what happens there. Ooh. Next up is Deadpool Assassin, issue number 3. So, the Assassin's Guild has put a bounty on Deadpool, and they're pulling out all the stops. They send out this kind of necromancer-type woman. Some assassins try to attack Deadpool. He kills them, and then, of course, they get back up again. I know, right? Weird. Zombies? No? Maybe? I don't know. But while Deadpool is tangling with them, a vampire named Blackout tackles Deadpool, gets Deadpool on the ropes, and then this lady necromancer kind of betrays Blackout, and she decides that she's going to help Deadpool. And so she takes Deadpool to the Guild's base, where Deadpool negotiates the termination of the contract on him by offering to work for the Guild, and at the same time negotiates the freedom for the assassin who helped him, who, of course, decides that, she owes Deadpool a life debt, blah, 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 so she joins him. Now Deadpool's got a partner. So, yeah, the Deadpool Assassin book is really starting to become almost my favorite over the regular book. I'm sorry, Scotty. I'm saying it. Just give me like 2% more, Scotty, and it'll put you that far enough ahead. Anyway, next up we have Darth Vader, issue number 18. On a planet in the Outer Rim, Vader is being hunted by Moff Tarkin. That's right. Hold on. Now, Tarkin has brought his own team to hunt Vader down, but because Vader is such a badass, he's picking off the members of Tarkin's team one by one, even after they manage to severely hurt Vader and take him away from his lightsaber. Whoa. So, of course, eventually, Vader does get the drop on him, does get his lightsaber back, and does take out the entire rest of Tarkin's crew. Now, Tarkin manages to lure Vader into a little bit of a trap and puts him down. I know, right? Tarkin. Who knew? So, apparently we find out that Vader actually asked Tarkin to do this. It wasn't some kind of betrayal or an order from the Emperor or anything of that sort. I guess Vader kind of feels like without the Jedi out there to hunt, he doesn't have that sense of fulfillment, I guess. So, he really, I guess he sees Tarkin as an equal. Why not just fight the Emperor? I guess that would be kind of challenging him. Emperor would probably kill him. Anyway. Next up is X-Men Blue, issue number 31. So Magneto is looking for Emma Frost, and in the process destroys the Hellfire Club. I know, right? Big loss. Womp. So the young X-Men go to the Hellfire Club, what's left of it anyway, and decide that they need to find Magneto and find out what the heck is going on, possibly even stop him from finding Emma. So they go to Briar, who is supposed to know where Magneto is, and she's like, well, I can't tell you where he is because I don't know, but I can tell you where Emma Frost is. And so they go and locate Emma Frost. And the big question is now is, can the X-Men save Emma from Magneto, or do they even want to save her from Magneto? I mean, Emma has pretty much put these young X-Men through just all kinds of bad stuff. I mean, I don't know. So we'll have to see what happens next issue. Now, we have the Hunt for Wolverine, the Adamantium Agenda, issue number 3. So Sinister has managed to escape the sub, but not before Laura takes both of his hands. That's right. Sinister now needs a hand. That's where the, bad joke. Anyway. So they have to now get off the sub before it sinks, and Iron Man does manage to, get out of the sub, push it to the surface, because he's Iron Man, and when they get to the surface, A-Shield helicarrier is waiting to take all of the villains that were on the sub, trying to buy all this DNA. They take them all into custody. So, Tony and the team do manage to get the location of Sinister's base, and he allows the rest of the team to borrow some armor. Of course, each one gets their own spiffy little kind of armor to, of course, help with their specialization. Because I can't English very well. So they managed to get onto this island where Sinister has been working for a while. And they find that it's not just the DNA of superheroes that he's got, but it could possibly be the DNA of every single person on Earth. Whoa. That's a lot of DNA. Ugh. Anyway, we'll move on to Domino issue number 4. And I gotta tell you, Domino is quickly becoming one of my very favorite series. I absolutely love the art. I love the way it's drawn. It's very, it's not comic booky, it's very cartoony. And I know that's a kind of a weird way to describe it, but I really just feel like I'm watching a cartoon. When I read this book, I can see the moves and the dances, and I really like the art style. But Domino's gone to see Shang-Chi. For those of you who don't know, he is the Marvel Universe's master of Kung Fu. And she's gone to him with the hope that he'll be able to help her to kind of learn to focus her mutant luck power, as it were. With her training, though, Shang-Chi basically is just beating the hell out of her the entire time, wanting, you need to focus, concentrate, land a blow. So she decides that she's going to make a bet with him, and he's like, hey, if I land a blow, we get to take a break and we get to do something I want to do for a little while. Because, getting your butt kicked for a little while, you need to take a break. So she uses her power of luck, and the instant that he blinks, she manages to knock him on his butt. I know, right? The master of Kung Fu on his butt. Lucky. Right? So she decides that their break, they're going to go dancing. Yeah. And while they're out on the dance floor, tripping like fancy, and Domino's trying to put the moves on Shang-Chi, Domino's a slut. I love it. She just, I don't know. I think it's awesome. Go Domino. Slut it up, I say. Anyway, so while they're doing that, Domino's buddies decide that they are going to track down the person who screwed them on the last job. And so Outlawed and Diamond go to Deadpool to help with, kind of get some intel, possibly what's going on. He points them to a facility that might have some answers, but instead they find Topaz, who has been giving them problems already, and her boss, who is now young again because of all the bad stuff they've been doing to Domino, and his name is Prototype. So we find out that he's got some kind of connection to Domino, which we kind of already knew, since every time something bad happened to Domino, his power got bigger, I guess? I don't know. Yeah, so like I said, it just something about this book is really just, and I think it really is the art. I don't feel like the story is really pulling me in. I really feel like it's the art, and just keep doing it. Don't take her off this book, okay? Leave her there. God. Next up is Oblivion Song, issue number 5. So Nathan has finally found the rest of the survivors and his brother Ed in Oblivion. He's come to take them all back to Earth, but they don't seem like they want to go back. They're all pretty much happy here. They've built a life. Some of them have shady pasts and probably, probably being looked for. But back on Earth, the military has come looking for Nathan. But all they find is a bomb he's been building in a secret garage nobody know about. Whoops. Yeah, things are getting hairy. So, and not just because Nathan hasn't shaved in a while. Oh, God. Anyway, last book, and we'll cut this off, thank goodness, short episode, is X-23, issue number 1. Yes! Oh, such a good book. All right. So, Laura is on a mission to destroy any and all facilities researching or trafficking in mutant DNA. And after running with a group of mercs, Laura goes to see Hank McCoy for a little bit of intel. He gives her a lead on a geneticist who's been working for Alchemx, but who's also gone missing as of recent. So it's kind of like, so this whole thing with Sinister going on, maybe there's a little bit of correlation here. Shh, pay attention. So we find out that Laura is going to go look for this geneticist, and while they're leaving, Laura and Gabby run into the Cuckoos, who later we find out they're the ones who actually kidnapped the doctor that Laura and Gabby are looking for, and they used her to clone the 2 dead sisters they have, Sophie and Esme, and it doesn't look like Sophie and Esme are doing so good with the cloning process. Esme might be completely, not to put, cuckoo upstairs, but, Sophie's dying again, I guess, and Esme doesn't want that to happen, so she gives her something that the doctor cooked up, possibly, that might be able to help her. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and find out. So I'm kind of liking that the Cuckoos are going to be kind of the mysterious villain in this. It's been a really long time since those 3 have been kind of evil again. They've been kind of back characters, and then they were kind of up at the front, and then I really hope they're going to go somewhere very deep with the Cuckoo story, because so many people don't know who they are, and they really need to shine in the limelight. So that is it for this week, guys. Next week may or may not have an episode. The reason this episode is so short, so frank, to the point, is I'm getting ready to go on vacation for a few days, and I would really like time to relax. I'm going to get some reading done for some books that I have to do reviews on. You'll find out about those later. And I'm going to try to make time to record the episode. I would like to get my books read, too. So I've got so much reading to do, so much. And I'm hoping the vacation will allow me the time to do that. So normally this is the point where I would say until next week, but I'm going to say until next time.